The Jehovah's Witnesses have been banned in multiple countries around the world. And in today's video, I want to speak specifically as to why Russia has banned the Jehovah's Witnesses. Guys, this is bad. This is really bad. Let's get into the video. Hello beautiful people and welcome to my channel. My name is Monica. For those who are new, thank you so much for stopping by. I create Exjw content and I also create beauty content. If this resonates and speaks to you, do subscribe and please give this video a thumbs up because this might be the most important video I ever make on this channel. Now, Russia banned the Jehovah's Witnesses in 2017 and I looked at so many news outlets trying to figure out why Russia actually banned the Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, I needed a reason, of course, just to see why. And if you haven't watched my previous videos, in previous videos we found out that most Arab countries have banned the Jehovah's Witnesses because of their links and connections to Zionism. And a lot of members don't know this, but Charles Taze Russell was a known Zionist. And with that information in mind, let's look at the history of the Jehovah's Witnesses in Russia. So in 1879, Charles Taze Russell, a known Zionist at this point, he starts publishing Lion's Watch Tower and starts a religious movement which will later be known as the Jehovah's Witnesses. This is 1879, guys. In 1891, Charles Taze Russell visits Kishinev. Why is a Zionist going to preach a fake church they started in Russia? It's 1911 now, and he visits Russia again. This time he goes to Lviv. 1928. We have George Young, the Bible student missionary. He travels to the Soviet Union. Now it's 1949. Operation South secretly starts deporting Jehovah's Witnesses from Soviet Moldova. Then 1951, we have Operation North, where secretly it starts supporting witnesses from the western borderlands of the Soviet Union. 1957, Jehovah's Witnesses worldwide signed a petition for the Soviet government asking for an end to persecution. It's 1965, the Jehovah's Witnesses are released from special exile. It's 1991, the Soviet Union grants registration to the Jehovah's Witness organization. It's 1992, Russia grants registration to Jehovah's Witness organization. It's 1997, the Russian government passed the law on freedom of conscience and religious association that implemented stricter regulation of religious groups. We are at 2002 now. 2002, the Russian government passed the law on combating extremist activity that implemented broad measures to combat extremism, including by religious groups. It's 2004. Moscow, the Jehovah's Witnesses were barred from registration within city limits. 2009. The Jehovah's Witness publications began to be declared extremist and banned. 2017, the Russian Supreme Court liquidated the Russian Organization of Jehovah's Witnesses. Then 2019, the first Jehovah's Witness in post-Soviet Russia was sentenced to prison for religious reasons. Now, before we go any further and unpack this, I just want to talk about my frustrations towards the media and how they've been covering the Jehovah's Witnesses for the last couple of years, especially in regards to Russia. It's actually kind of frustrating to see reputable news outlets try and act like the Jehovah's Witnesses are this great organization when it's becoming more and more public knowledge as to what actually happens behind closed doors.
There are an estimated 8 million Jehovah's Witnesses around the world, and most meet and practice their religion free from threat. But in Russia, the group was just banned under an anti-extremism law, usually meant for dangerous and violent organizations. Our Patrick Reevil, along with our team, have been investigating the crackdown on this peaceful group, and they bring us this in-depth report that some may find shocking.
And researching why Russia banned the Jehovah's Witnesses just made me more angry. Like, honestly, more angry, because I came across so many news outlets talking about they don't understand why Russia is banning the Jehovah's Witnesses. You know, they are infringing on people's human rights. They are naming them as extremists, and this is not true. And I felt like all of these news articles were very emotional. I didn't understand why it's so emotional and not impartial. Oh, Russia mistreats the human rights of people, but the Jehovah's Witnesses are also doing this and that to their members. To me, that is being impartial. Yet, I couldn't find any of that. And this just really confused me, honestly. And it reminded me of October 7th and what happened after that day, where we saw news outlets being caught spreading misinformation. Remember that article, that story that broke about those 40 babies? And then it came out that actually those people made up that story, and the people who made up the story were journalists from, I think it was the Washington Post, I'm not sure, but I don't want to name names. I just want to say that we learned that a lot of misinformation gets spread throughout these news outlets. And we've also learned who actually controls these news outlets. No, we know though. And these people are what? Linked to Jehovah's Witnesses. And now we're seeing why Arab countries have distanced themselves from the Jehovah's Witnesses and completely just banned them, saying we don't want this in our country. Back to Russia. So I'm going to leave a link to this article, and it's called Everything You Need to Know About Jehovah's Witnesses. And guys, yeah, it's truly everything you need to know. I'm just going to read a snippet from this article, guys, and listen to this. For the first time, the demand for banning Jehovah's Witnesses was considered in the Moscow district in 1998. The prosecutor's office of the Northern District of Moscow accused the Moscow community of Jehovah's Witnesses of inciting religious discord, ruining families, forcing gravely ill patients to refuse to accept medical assistance, and other violations. The hearing lasted with intermissions until 2004. The Moscow chapter of Jehovah's Witnesses was stripped of its registration. This article basically details how the Russian government has been keeping tabs on the Jehovah's Witnesses and what they've been doing in their country. Like, most governments don't even talk about this, how the Jehovah's Witnesses ruin families, how they cause so much division, how much they literally push their members to their death by not letting them accept life-saving medical services. And a lot of people might think like, oh no, this is not that serious. It's very much that serious. And I think this is why Russia has said that the Jehovah's Witnesses are an extremist organization. They've been talking about this, guys. They've been talking about this over and over for many years, since the 90s, since 1949, 1957, 1998, and literally as the years go by. Here's another thing. Russia's anti-extremism laws were extended to non-violent groups in 2007. Jehovah's Witnesses were banned in the port city of Taganrog in 2009. After a local court ruled the organization guilty of inciting religious hatred by propagating the exclusivity and supremacy of their religious beliefs. That is why Russia has banned the Jehovah's Witnesses. The communities have been demanding for this, and the Western media will not let us know about this. Literally, their news outlets, the Western media, have been trying to portray the Jehovah's Witnesses as this innocent religious group that does no harm, that just knock on people's doors. Yet we all know about the CSI cases popping up everywhere, governments banning them worldwide. Why are news reporters not reporting on this? Guys, I'm not a journalist. I am not a journalist, but I was able to put two and two together. Why can't they do this? Like, it's crazy, guys. Be safe out there. Equip yourself with knowledge, learn as much as possible, but also live your life, because this is scary. Scary. I can't believe we're involved in these shenanigans. Oh my god. I'm out, guys. Bye.